So apparently for this Schrodinger base and this video that I posted out right here, there was an update, a hidden update of some sort that has caused a few issues with some stuff where it's leaving bodies behind, as well as beforehand I left out some information on that. So we're going to redo this video right here, mainly just because we want to give out accurate information. So first off, when we come to Schrodinger, which if you can't find it, it's right over here by Cricks. Basically, you're just going to kind of go down to Alpha Marae, and Schrodinger should be right here. So now that you've found that, I've got my intro out of the way. Once you get to Schrodinger, you're going to do 3 different landing spots, maybe a 4th, but they're going to find exactly where to find the best spot to do it, because I've actually found a really good flat spot right here. Now, first, you're going to need to go up here, at least travel up here, find some stuff, at least scout the area, get all your information, get a full survey of the entire planet. But as you can see, this is ice. This little area right here is frozen mountains. So you don't need to do the whole scans of everything else. You just need to go to these types of green places right here where it says hills. Any section that you can see like green on the scan is mostly going to be hills. Now, there are some that are going to have mountains like over here. But if you zoom in, you'll see it's more of a grayish kind of deal, and you can tell that it's a mountain right there versus where it's going to be green. You want to go where it's green, because where the hills are is where those Foxbats are going to be at. So anywhere you can go to, you can see there's a mountain right there. You're basically going to go over here and get that spot. Now, if you want to find the scan version, right here where I have my base on this part of the scan, right here where it's going to say Sandy Desert, that's where we're going to land at, and we're going to actually build our base right here because it is perfectly flat. Everywhere you go to is perfectly flat right here on this spot. So if you need the scan to find it, that's what it's going to look like, just about there. And then we'll get onto the base and show you what you're going to be looking for. But again, if you also have a spot like this, you can easily fast travel and get rid of some of those bodies. But once you get over here, you need to go here first to where it's green and find these suckers, these little swamping foxbats. You can scan them like so or kill them. Either way is good, but once you get them fully scanned, this is the most XP you're going to get per bullet in the game in the shortest period of time. And we've also got a little bit of an update, like I said before, that's actually going to make these things a lot faster to spawn also, which I didn't know about and someone led me on to. So this person right here, I got to get his name from the Discord that was over there, and he gave me credit. But also these guys, these little ones, even though you can't make these ones spawn here, these guys are great for, the alien genetic material. These guys right here drop the most of this genetic material that you can find, besides finding those those terror beasts or whatever. But anyways, even these ones also drop it. But you're not going to get it from the ones you can farm, just from these right here that you can come out here and kill. So as you can see, they also drop luxury textiles. Now, someone asked me because they were having a problem getting their thing to spawn these. That's what you need to do. You need to get these ones here scanned and spawned so you can get the luxury textiles. So let's get into this.
Meanwhile, back in the lowlands.
Now, once you've traveled from there to here, this is my base setup that I currently have right now. I've actually been able to perfect it just enough to where you're getting them to spawn right after you killed enough of them. Now, beforehand, I said you only needed about 8 or so. I have 19, almost 20 of these working. And we also got some information, thanks to some people in the Discord, on how to make some of these spawn a little bit faster. Now, there are videos out here about this specific type of spawn base, but not how to make it the most effective. So we put a little bed right inside of this little entrance, and that's literally all we need. Now we have the perfect way to scan around, quickly turn and shoot, and get these suckers. Now, we also found out that if you were to actually supply these, it will actually make them spawn just as fast. So if you happen to get into this area, you need to make sure you have, I believe it's chlorine or something like that, that can produce, or it's mainly just water, I believe. It was the water and one of these. So once you get this greenhouse going, there's a specific plant that you need to get to make this green this greenhouse, or any of these three that you want to spawn, like this little one or the bigger ones like this right here, once these start spawning the nutrients, and that's what you want to find, is the stuff to scan to make the nutrients, you'll just need some water to supply to this base, so that way it makes the nutrients to put into this, which then you can link to all of your outposts that you have right here for the Foxbats to spawn, and put in some water right here. This is going to allow these waters to supply water to this collection facility and then distribute it out to those. This will create luxury textiles that you can use to sell to get your ammo and everything else. Basically turning this into a giant farm for ammo, and you can go buy ammo later on with this, while at the exact same time making these suckers spawn the fastest. And you're not using too much of a base, because again right here this is small enough that you can just turn and shoot off of, and you have this spot inside where you can sleep, get your XP, and we have lights that basically turn and hit each one of these front entrances, so that way you can see at nighttime where these suckers are spawning. Now again, I have 19 of these total out here, about 20 or so honestly, and by the time I kill these on this spot right here, the ones behind me will start spawning. So let's go into this and get these suckers to spawn. Now, as you can see right here, if you shoot this, I forgot to mention this in my other one, shoot that box, it'll shut it off. When you activate it or repair it, these suckers will spawn. But the moment that they spawn, if you shoot this, they die, you get no XP. Someone said you get the XP, that is a lie. Sorry, you don't get it. But, however, when you're done for the day, if you shoot that and turn them off when you come back on for the day, whenever you want to go back onto this game, they will respawn and there will be no bodies nearby. Now again, this is the luxury textile that you want. Now there are some creatures out here that you can get sedatives and toxin, but as you can also see, the value of these are not very high. That's the same for the XP. So you want the stuff that's on these that's going to spawn the very high valued stuff. The higher the value, the more XP that creature gives you as well. So you can see the top right, we have nutrient and water. That's all we need right there to craft and make these things work. So this is going to make these creatures also spawn and respawn even faster. So when we spawn them, they're right here. You typically get about 4. So after you kill those 4, 1, 2, 3, where's my 4th? Shit, where'd he go? Hold on. Oh, I forgot to also mention, while you have this, you can get the XP from these. Eat something, get XP, well rested XP. Check your stats right here because someone asked about that. But there's also, for the Starborn, is going to give you the Sense Star. This is going to allow you to find these creatures, and we'll get into that later on. Where is this 4th? There he is. Hello. Okay, now that we got him out of the way, there's the 4. Once you kill the 4, you can destroy this immediately, and as you see, all the bodies disappear. So if you don't kill that box, the bodies will restack back up and restack back up. Like some of those are out here, like this one right here. He's still out there. There's ones over there. I cannot get rid of some of these bodies because something of an update has undone what the developers did. Don't know what it was that they did, but something has caused these to respawn. So the other way to get rid of the bodies is to take your ship and go into orbit. That is another way to get rid of the bodies. Or you can fast travel. Just a simple fast travel from one spot to right over here where we're at to over here will also get rid of some of the bodies. Not all of them, but some of them, because of how many bodies and buildings we have. That's the problem that's causing. You're going to have bodies still stacking up. But if you kill them after you get the first 4 and destroy this, typically the bodies tend to go away. Now, as you can see, also, we have tons of them. I mean, look at the litter of these. That's a lot of XP just floating around here. 4 times 20, I mean, we're talking 80 of these right here. Each one is about 196 when it's maxed out. That is a lot of XP, ladies and gentlemen. Damn! And again, when these creatures are inside, if you use the Sense Star, you can actually tell where they're at. There they all are. Some of them are outside, some are inside. So make sure to go out there and open up those doors. But all you have to do is just start shooting away. You're going to get tons and tons of XP this way. Now, we'll also show you another way, which I mentioned in one of the comments, of how to actually get even more XP from this while you're just sitting here doing nothing. Like literally, while you're shooting these creatures, you can also still get some more XP. You're just gonna have to go do a few other things, and we'll get into that later on. But as you can see, with only about a 20 mag, I missed probably one shot right here. We have a 20 mag on the Varun gun, and as you can see, even when we shoot, they're still gonna die. And that white phosphorus that's right there is also going to kill some of them. So we got nearly about 3,700. We typically get 3,900 in XP for each one of these killed. Now here's another weapon that we can use as well. As you can see, it typically one-shots these as well. And that is the Orion. But as you see, there are some, when I shoot them, they just catch on fire. Some will not die, even while I'm crouched down and hidden. As you see, I shot one over there. He's probably still not dead. See this one here? I had to shoot him twice. He's not dead. The only one that guarantees a one-shot kill, if you want to do it that way, is the Varun weapon. The Varun pistol, the Varun rifle, those two guarantee a one-shot kill. So if you don't want to waste your time, do that. But the Orion weapon like this right here, when it's maxed out with all the best gear that you can put onto them, can typically one-shot them. As so. So either one of these weapons is good, and that's probably why the Hunter and the Emissary both have each one of these. Now, if you were to go through and get all that done and then just farm it this way, guaranteed those weapons that you have, no matter what you use against them, they will one-tap anything. So that's going to save you some ammo, especially. So you can go through, hit probably, and we're going to try to get these 30 shots in. I think it's like 35, and try to get the max so you see what the max XP is. I probably had to double shot a few, maybe triple shot a few times here, but don't worry, it's going to give you about an accurate idea of how much XP you'll get per magazine. You see the numbers are ticking, which means we didn't get that one. See, look, 1, 2, come on, die. See, look, ladies and gentlemen, there's one example right there. 4 shots. 5. Good God. So typically about above 5,000 XP for a magazine right here on this. That's pretty good. That's pretty high. So there's another way to maximize your XP gain just using specific weapons. And then with a near perfect magazine, we can show that you can get 5,900 XP in a near perfect magazine. Maybe about 1 or 2 shots was double. So again, a lot of XP in the very short period of time.
Later that same evening.
So what you're going to need to set up this base, we're going to go over what you need because some people want to know this kinds of stuff, especially once you start getting these things maxed out. Basically just what the basics are. They're not looking for all the numbers because they may add or do less than what you do. So in short, you're going to need some zero wire adaptive frame to make these pylons for the lights. Now I have about 8 or 9 of these. I think about 9, maybe about 10. So again, what you're going to need versus what I'm going to need, because I've actually spec'd into these, is going to be different, and we'll go over what you need to spec into later on of what you're going to need for skills to set this up properly. But for right now, we're going to show what you need. So we have that. We have one of these. So you're going to need tungsten, iron, and lubricant. So I would just suggest, as soon as you get a chance, buy up this stuff: aluminum, iron, and adaptive frame. So there's some more stuff you're going to need. Now, again, how much you're going to need is going to be different between what size you want to build and all that kind of stuff, because you may just be starting off. You may already have these spec'd out. I don't know. But for the large one, you're going to need aluminum, adaptive frame, and nickel. So that's going to get for your water. Now you see we have our water one over here, and we have the other one right over here. Then we also have this base. Now, if you're going to put this out here, you're going to need some of this as well. You're going to need sealant, reactive gauge, fluorine, and adaptive frames. That's the minimum requirement you're going to need. Now, if you build these other ones, it's just a few extra higher pieces like subgrate, molecular sleeves, stuff like that. But basically, the fluorine, adaptive frame, and sealant is pretty much guaranteed for all 3. But then what you need for that one is the subgrade adaptive frame or molecular sleeve, and the other one is just a molecular sleeve. So it depends on what you're going to do. Now for these, you want sealant, aluminum, adaptive frame, and what was it? You don't want to build these. I forgot to mention, because you're only going to get 4 for these, and you're going to waste materials. You want the smaller one. So you want reactive gauge, adaptive frame, sealant, and aluminum. Now, for my base, again, in the middle, you see we just have that one little entry spot right here. It basically goes to any base you want to go to. It's a little entry one. So that's all I have for this. And then we have wind turbines to give us enough power. And the power of what you're going to need is going to depend on how many of these you're going to build. So again, that's going to be on you, because you may not have these, but you're going to need aluminum and isocentered magnets if you want to build the big ones, or just some easy, cheap stuff if you're going to build the other wind turbines. Now, I suggest the wind turbines because this place is mostly wind. You don't have to worry about solar or reactors or nothing like that. You can just easily build these off of wind and have a good time. But the other part is also, like I was mentioning, you can even put in a cargo link. Now, this cargo link will allow you to bring from one of those iron and aluminum farms the stuff over here. So while you're waiting for the creatures to spawn, you can basically craft adaptive frames, and then boom, get some extra XP and cash. And make a landing pad if you wish to put right there. But if you want this little structure, you're just going to need some lead, aluminum, and sealant. And boom, you have a little pedestal that you can put a bed inside. And if we go to the bed, you're going to, and for the robots, I just have this one right here for the power management. I have a logistics one right here. And I believe I have the guard, or not this one, it's the garden mini bot. And that one seems to help produce enough nutrients to supply these suckers. So those 3 bots right there, those are the ones I have. Do as you please. And then I have a bed, aluminum and fiber, or you can do a sleeping bag, just some fiber and sealant or something like that. And that's all you're going to need for the extra XP. But again, if you want to build these on here, you're going to need some aluminum, zero wire, and beryllium. Same thing for this one. So you need, triple that for all 3 of those little spots, which I have right here. So when we turn stuff off, boom, it's done. And that's pretty much it for the base. And then you stand up on top and start shooting away.
2 very boring minutes later.
So someone once asked me about the weapons. As you can see, I just have an advanced Orion, and I have the reflection, which I got this one here from the Starborn Trader. This one here I just got off the wall, and you can get this one right off the wall just by going to the well and stealing this off the wall down below. When you first go from the well, from the starport, you can easily just go steal that, and boom, you're done. But as for the reflection, you can find this one at some vendors and stuff like that. If not, you can find it when you do some bounties. But this specific one, the blue one, the reflection, I got that one from the trader. So the Starborn Trader. Now, again, the only one that we typically are going to be using here is the Scent Star. The Scent Star is going to show you where they're all at. Now, you don't need this if you're not going to do New Game Plus. Again, you can easily just run around and go find them. I just use a Scent Star because it's easy. So as for the skills, let's get into the skills. You're going to need zoology. Zoology is going to allow you to build the farm for those. And botany. 1 skill for each. The botany is going to allow you to get the nutrients and stuff like that to put those buildings down to feed your animals to make them spawn some more. So you need 1 skill in botany, 1 skill zoology. The zoology one's going to allow you to build the animal farms. So once you have those 2 skills, then you can basically make this base the best way you can. Now, if you don't have all the other stuff, by then, at least if you spec into those 2, you're going to be set up to do this. Now, you do need your outpost engineering. This is going to allow you to build those modules. Now, also 1 piece for special projects, and for your weapons engineering, as you saw on my weapons, they were completely specced out. You need to get this one here to at least level 4. So once you get weapon engineering to level 4 and 1 skill to the other one at the very bottom right there, that's going to allow you to build all of these, like the long barrel, recon laser scope, recon scope, focus nozzle, annihilator rounds, and an amplifier to basically guarantee the one shot. Same with this. To get all these extra abilities on this, you're going to need to get that to level 4. As you can see right here, get this to level 4, and then get this one here to level 1. And that's basically it.